So a key part of machine learning and training models is to be able to evaluate those models and seeing really the effectiveness of your model. So there's a couple of different ways that we can do this with classification models. We're going to be talking about ways to evaluate classification models and regression models. So with classification models, we usually use a confusion matrix, which we've talked about, and as well another thing called an ROC curve. And this gives us better understanding of things and other metrics like the true positive rate, the false positive rate, and the accuracy. In regression models, we usually use something called a mean squared error, or you can use the root mean squared error, which just gives us a better understanding of how well our model is doing of predicting and using the features to make a prediction. So to start off, let's just go over some regression and kind of talk about how we can evaluate this and kind of what the numbers mean and what we're really looking at. This isn't going to be a big math lesson. This is mainly just to kind of familiarize you with the actual metrics and just know that this is usually what we're using when we're evaluating these models. So we'll create some just sample data. So just say import NumPy as NP, and then we're just going to create 100 random rows. So if you just say np.random.seed as 0, and then we'll do x equals np.random.rand, okay, and then 100 comma 1, and then y equals 2.0 plus 3.0 times x plus np.random.rand and 100 comma 1. So this is just going to set us up with just some random data, and make sure this x is capitalized, just with some random data and random like linear data to work with. And make sure this is rand n, not whatever I had. So then we'll just split it into our training and testing. So we'll say from sklearn.model selection import train test split, okay? And then just do x underscore train, x underscore test, and then y underscore train and y underscore test equals train test split x, y, and then test size we'll do 0.2. And then our random state you can just say is equal to 0. And then, so now that we have our testing data, we'll just do the next step, which is fitting the model. So just say from sklearn.linear underscore model import linear regression. So we're going to be looking at a linear regression model in this one. And we'll say model equals linear regression with 2 brackets. And then we'll fit the model. So say model.fit with x underscore train and y underscore train. Okay. So this is just basically creating, like we've done before with regression with our models, we're just creating a model and we're training it based on this random data. So now let's actually make predictions and then we'll evaluate this model. So to make the predictions, we just say y underscore pred equals model.predict x underscore test, like that. And then to evaluate this model, we just use the scikit-learn metrics library to import our mean squared error. So if we say from sklearn.metrics import mean squared error, okay, and then we can just say MSE equals mean squared error, and then y underscore test and y underscore pred, like that, and then we can just print our MSE. So when we run this, we get back 1.0.43. So what does this actually even mean? What are we looking at? So the mean squared error is basically what it sounds like. It is the average squared difference between what it was predicted and the actual values. So these are called our errors or residuals, where this is the difference in how good our model is predicting a value and the difference between what it was and what it predicted. And usually you want this to be as low as possible, and it's relative to what your actual data is. So because it is just 1.043, it indicates that it actually does pretty well because we have data points that can be, anywhere. If we actually go and look at our data, if we look at Y, we can see that we have data points that are 6.8, and then it's kind of just all over the place of what it actually is. And the reason we square it is because it gives more emphasis on errors that are larger. So if we have a couple that are really large, it's going to actually create a larger mean squared error if all of them are really small, but we have some that are large, okay? So that's really one of the ways we can evaluate these regression models is we just look at these mean squared errors. We can use the root mean squared error is another popular one. You can use the R squared, which we did when we did the linear regression. And it's important to really keep in sense the scale of the mean squared error. So using a bunch of these different metrics is going to help you really evaluate whether your model is performing well or not. So just keep in mind when you're working with linear regression and with any regression task that you're looking usually at the squared error, the mean squared error, root mean squared error, you're looking at R squared. Those are some of the ones that you're going to need to know and understand to be able to evaluate your model. So let's go ahead, I'm going to delete this cell, and let's look at a classification model to kind of see how we can evaluate this. Let's create some more fake data, but this time we're going to create classification data. So if we say x equals np.random.rand, okay, and then we'll do 1003 like that, and then our y equals np.random.rand int, and then 0, 2, and then 1000. Okay, so it's going to create 1000 rows of 0, 2. Run that, and then as you can see, y.shape, we have 1000 rows, okay? So we have 1000 rows. And then let's just go ahead and split this data into our training and testing. So I'm just going to come up here and literally just copy this so I don't have to type it again, but you just need to do x train, y train, and then we can do 0.3 instead of 0.2 if you want. And then let's import a model, a decision tree model. So if we say from sklearn.tree, import decision tree classifier, and then we'll say model equals decision tree classifier. Okay, so we're creating our model, and then we can fit that model. So model.fit x underscore train and y underscore train like that. And then if we can make our predictions, so do y underscore pred equals model.predict and then x underscore test. Okay. So now that we have our classification predictions, let's go ahead and start looking at how we can start to evaluate how well this is doing. So the first one that we usually look at is accuracy. So accuracy, like we've used in the past, it can be very useful to use accuracy, but it should not be the end all of really what your classification model is good at. So let's import our accuracy score. So if we say from sklearn.metrics, import accuracy score, okay, and then we can just say accuracy underscore score, and then y underscore test and y underscore pred like that. So as we can see, we have a 56% accuracy score. And an accuracy score can be very different of how well we evaluate this. Like if we have multiple classes that we're trying to predict, 56% can actually be very good. Or if we're working on something like, say, we're trying to diagnose cancer, then 56% is probably very bad, okay? We don't want to misclassify cancer. So that's really where you just kind of have to use your domain knowledge. You have to use your understanding of what the actual task is. And that's really 50% of machine learning is understanding what you're trying to achieve with your models and what you're trying to achieve with this machine learning you're doing. It doesn't really make sense to create a model that doesn't help you solve the task and enhance and make the task better, right? So let's look at some other metrics we can start to look at. We'll do one called recall, which is our true positive rate. It's also called recall score. So if we say from sklearn.metrics, import recall underscore score, okay? And it's recall equals recall score, and then y underscore test and y underscore pred, and then we can just print our recall, okay? So this is our true positive rate. So basically what this is telling us is how many of the positive predictions we predicted correctly. So another metric we use with recall is actually something called precision. So if we say from sklearn.metrics import precision underscore score, like that, and then we just say precision score, and then we'll do y test y pred, okay? So the difference between recall and precision, so recall is our true positive rate. So it's essentially saying that we are able to identify all of the positives correctly. It doesn't mean that we won't identify some negatives as positives, but it's going to basically evaluate how well we can identify all of the positives. Where the precision is a more of an accuracy related score, where it's basically going to take our how many true positives we got divided by all of the predictions we made, and that gives us our precision score. So as you can see, precision and accuracy are slightly similar right here, where recall is a little bit lower. And then the last one that we can use for our actual classification is just a confusion matrix, which we have used before. So I'll just re-show this again. If you just say from sklearn.metrics import confusion underscore matrix, then we'll say CM equals confusion matrix, and then y test and y pred, okay? And then you can just print out CM. So as you can see, we have our two classes that we have created, and the diagonal line shows the ones that we actually got correct. And so the top row in the columns are going to be what we actually predicted, and then the rows are going to be the actual values. So this, comes in handy later when you can start to evaluate our true positive and our false positives. So as we can see here, we falsely classified this one as this class, but it was actually this class, right? Or we falsely classified this one here, but we got these ones correct. So we can start to recalculate a lot of these different metrics based off this confusion matrix. That's how the recall score and the precision score get actually calculated. But like I mentioned, this isn't a super math heavy course, but these are the things you can start to use to evaluate your classification models. So that's kind of a brief intro and kind of a little introduction to how to evaluate models. This, you can really go so far in depth that I don't think we'd be able to cover it all. It kind of deserves a course of its own, essentially, to talk about evaluating and training and refining models. It's really a skill set of its own that you'll just kind of learn and improve over time as you start to work with the machine learning aspects. So that is it for this video. Let's go ahead and jump on into the next one.